xa befika omama bereport baye utata kanibethi okanye akani-abuse. And we ask them as doctors, you can imagine if uzobuzwa ngugqirha ongasindiswanga uba when was the last time nidibana notata? Because physiological that department okanye lagumbi li-releasa i-excitement hormones. When people they do more okanye xa besiya kakhulu kulaa nkonzo kuba mnandi emtshatweni. And there is also things ekuthiwa zii-endorphins eziriliswa lela gumbi ezimenza utata xa egqiba kwenza ozela alale. We call it endogenous morphine. Now we always advise kukuthi otata ukuthi they must not use the experience yabo ye-previous relationship. I want to be straight. They must not use their experience from their previous relationship because your wife is different from those people. You must learn and understand ukuthi yena yeyiphi into emenza excited. Some of them uzofumaniseka uba they are the ones who will start umdlalo akuphathaphathe, and if you run away you are depressing her as well. They are the ones. Some of them they need you to touch them. Now they have got their own experience because not all of us were born in church. And it also a problem when someone ezoza namava enye indawo angafundi intoba apha kule ndawo ndilapha kuyo ithini imimiselo yale ndawo, ithini language yale ndawo. Now ezinye ke zezinto that we have noticed as betotata kweli gumbi laphezulu ndiyaya kule topic sinikwe tata mfundisi. But I felt it is very important that we as otata, based on the experience, I've been a doctor for 17 years, we as otata singabu neglect ubu husband. Abantu abangomama, they must not come to a doctor to cry ukuthi my utata wakwami hey kunzima. Because amaxesha amaninzi you'll find out ukuthi some of otata esibancedayo i-report ifike nomama kuqala kuba hey awuzukuthethe notata ikhona ingxaki. Now ushiyeke ke ngoku uqombe hey I wonder utata uyoza nini for a review, because you cannot just phone uhusband uthi ukhona ingxaki elohlobo, because otata badalelwe into ba bazifihle izinto eziyimicelimngeni ebomini babo, yet those are also the pillars of umtshato. Yiyo le nto xa ungutata, if you have got a problem there is help, because it might be possible into yoba the reason why induku ingasashukumi kakuhle une-early signs ze-prostate, or it might be possible ukuthi it's diabetes, some treatments ze-pressure nazo ziyayibulala. Then we have to advise you ukuthi xa kulolu hlobo what can we do. And unfortunately they always come with advanced stages ze-problems zabo. Umuntu ufumaniseka uba umchamo kudala umane umchithe lapha ezihlangwini okanye athi ngoku ayochama avuka ukuthi umchamo ushiyekele, but akayiboni ukuthi need ugqirha le nto. Athi xa ifika kuwe ufika ukuthi hey le prostate sewusulele isinqe seyize, le prostate cancer sewusulele isinqe sewusulele isibindi seyize nasenantsikeni nasentloko. In my church, where the pastor that we diagnosed ukuthi it was in an advanced stage, he died ngelaa xesha lenantsika le COVID. And I believe ayivelanga yaqala advanced is because otata badalela ukufihla everything. And we're in the 4th industrial revolution. When you have got a problem, you must cry for help. You must cry for help. You must cry for help. So that we treat these things ngokukhawuleza. You know, mama, what they do every year, they come for a mammogram, for a breast cancer, they come for a pap smear. Or that you have to ask them, when was the last time doing a PSA? When was the last time udibana in a urologist? Uzawuthi, hey, le COVID. Oh, mama, despite COVID, they do those tests. And zonke ezo zinto ke botata bam zizinto ezingumcelimngeni kuthi thina bangabantu bangotata. I always say izisu zomuntu ongutata ziyi-2. Sesi singasentla, sesi singasezantsi. If umuntu ongutata ufuna ukumbona restless ene-anger, makubekho ingxaki kwesinye sesisisu. Okanye ubufuna umbone laqalaqaza, makangahluthi endlini. Once utata wayefumana zonke ii-meals zakhe, we always preach even nakomama ukuthi make sure ukuthi awulali unxiba i-tracksuit notata. Make sure ukuthi utata umenza happy. Because before kuthi xa besiza singogqirha bethetha ngento yoba utata uyani-abuser, we always ask them, when was the last time? Ndiyayiva le yoba utata kunanzikile ukubethi, because we believe ukuthi physiological there must be joy there. If that department practice, there must be excitement. And there are organic parts or izinto ezinatural ezisetyenziswayo beside ezi sizithengayo zifumana koogqirha. The first one, we always advise ukuthi ukuze inkonzo iqine, you must exercise. At least 1 kilometer, 1 to 5 kilometers per day. It makes change. And xa exercise ikwenza into yoba ungabikho iqinisa ne-immune system yakho exercise. And exercise inceda even your blood supply. And your blood supply, it helps ukuthi ubutata obu buhlale bu-active. Kungathiwa ungutata onanzikile ofe uthwele umnqwazi. Mayithi ifika la age yoba sikunike ii-injections, ube uzibonakalisile ngeli xesha, especially to the young ones. Ube uzibonakalisile ngeli xesha lilo, kuthiwe xa kuthetha kuthiwa hayi kuguge inja yayikhonkotha. Exercise is the best. And kuthiwa it also reduces rate ye prostate, because the more you do it, there is a current research the more you do it, the lesser the chances of getting prostate. Because prostate, one of izinto ezibangela into yoba mayibe khona kuba ninzi kwe-testosterone. Now the more you release, the more you reduce. It's more of a preventative measure prostate, and it helps that flow, because one of the symptoms of prostate xa umuntu ebanazo kufumaniseka umchamo wakhe awubikho straight, awubone tyhini ungathi ubethe lapho, before you know awusanantsika, awusaphuma okanye uphuma unenantsika unegazi. The more you do it, you are also playing a part in preventing prostate, because prostate is the common cancer that affects abantu abangotata. Exercise is the best. Diet, nayo we encourage it. It's a pity we are lazy fathers okanye we are lazy husbands. Ubungafumaniseki majority yethu we don't even plow okanye plant izipinach ne-cabbage ezigardini zethu, instead of basityale ezo zinto sinkcenkceshele inantsika ingca. yet we're African men. Izitiya sinazo, but the way esinkcenkceshela ngayo akho wrong uba mawumcenkceshele uyi-cream, but if we can go back to basics and eat those organic food, those things will help us, because the preservatives ezibangela into yoba ukutya kungaboli kuthiwa zizi-carcinogens. They play a big role for uba sibe nee-cancer ezingaqhelekanga. That's why the generation of today inee-cancer sasicinga uba zii-cancer zabelungu, i-leukemia, i-multiple myeloma. Those cancers from an African child were not our cancers, but because we si-evolve kakhulu, silahle imbo yethu ngophoyana. We thought ukuthi West is better than izinto esikhule ngazo. Now, if we can go back to those basics, those things will really help us. That's why our great-grandparents, ofanse butata una 80 something, but uyakwazi uba nomntana ona 6 months, because they were eating izinto ezi-organic. Thina uthi umuntu efika ku-50 years bomba hayi yi-right off le. Seyiquqe men's clinic. Because we are very lazy. We are very lazy. Kukunzima no walk ukusuka apho uye enansikene eVincent Mall. If umuntu ukushiya apho akazokuthatha athi ndisese eVincent Mall, sozuthi chu ngenyawo. Noba ngahlala pha 3 hours, you'll wait for 3 hours. I think we must learn from utata uhlathi. Usikela unantsika i-pattern. Even the sleep bayasikhuthaza. Sleep is stages. I'm not going to go deeper in that, but esona sleep esikhuthazwa kakhulu, because xa uzolala kukhona isisoba usozela uvula amehlo, but your brain ufumaniseka uba cannot interpret le nto uyibonayo because uyozela. Then kubekho the non-REM, non-rapid eye movement, nayo inezi-stages zazo. The third stage pha sesisoba umuntu avuke ahambe laa nto e-walk sleep, okanye athethe ngoku aleleyo, okanye ahlafune. Ezo zingasentla izilipha sifuna esi soba xa unantsikile esisinidayo kungutata, soba xa ulale waphupha uyazi uba ubuphupha ntoni. Kuthiwa it's a REM sleep, rapid eye movement. Kuthiwa even nentonga iyakwazi into yoba uvuke ebusuku uba uyinkwenkwana kuthiwa kwethina hamba ochama. Sinidekayo that sleep sinid into yoba at least we recommend into yoba at least ulale 7 to 8 hours per day and switch off all the lights, no TV, so that uzofumana a good sleep. It's movement, it's ukutya, it's inantsika a good sleep. Those things, they help. And the head office, because ukuze ukutya ukuthanda ingqondo funeke iku-appreciate. That's why you have to speak positive over your spouse. Tell her that you love her. The challenge that we have sometimes with the husbands, they become managers at home. Now, xa zifuna amalungelo aphezulu, I expect into yoba umama makabe free, ayeke uba ngumyeni at home. Now, when you give, okanye when you show love to her, nje randomly, ungabi obvious ba namhlanje it's obvious ba ikhona into ofuna uyenza indlela nice ngayo. No, mayibe inkonzo yasengqondweni ukuba nice day and night, so that iflow so that uthi xa ufuna udlala FNB Stadium, CB Stadium si-ready, because omama ba-emotional. If you don't give them love, uzawuthi umchukumisa vaqomba yeyi unibalekisela ngomnantsika ngomzimba, athi kubuya koyika ubomba hey athi ayenze ke loo nto uyenzayo. And it is not nice when there is no connection between wena naye, and because it ended up kungabikho communication, and iphela intoba efeels intoba you are just uzithathela without i-consent yawo. That's why kubakho tata over kuthiwa umama uhambile wamripota kwa-SAPS, sibuze uba kanjani betshatile. It's because indlela enza ngayo imenza acinga intoba umama noba kuthindwa ndizazi, then indlela enza ngayo ayiyo. And now that department ine-stage zayo. There is stage se-stimulus, se-excitement, and there is stage of stimulus, and there is stage se-resolution. Xa ugqiba, you don't just go uphume phandle as if ubusenza nje uphela sonwabi. You hug her so that afilish intoba yeah, you will really appreciate le nto uyenzile. And kulapho ke ngoku kuba kuvela inyaniso zodwa nakuyo uba hey hayi kwenzekile. And believe me, once kwalungiswa that department, nabantwana bayathandwa, kubakho ipeace. Umbona nomama ephuma ngesmile, athi naxa ifika utata emsebenzini abulise ukuqala kwipoto okanye kwi-security, molweni, because there is an excitement, there is joy in this man. Deep down, up in his mind, down in his heart. That thing, you can take it light. You can take it light, but believe me, it plays a big role. And if you have a problem, come to us. Come to us. We are here to help you. We are here to help you. We are here to help you, to give you izinto ezizakunceda. And it helps even nakwabo basezoya abangekatshati ba understand intoba into men's health. You know, we grew up xa utshatile umama engafumani bantwana kutyhola umama. Yet mhlawumbi my sperm okanye inantsika oonojubalala bam, they've got a problem. Some they don't have a tail, or they don't have mitochondria, or they don't have a nucleus, and I've reached a stage soba ndingakwazi ukwenza abantwana. Now, I believe one of the things that are needed with premarital counseling, intoba we must do i-sperm count ngokusiyo-analyzwa before kungena umtshatweni, so that xa abantwana bengabikho usiyazi intoba you had a problem before ungene emtshatweni. Nakumama sazi intoba maybe you have got a polycystic ovarian syndrome. Are you going to marry this person umazi ukuthi amaqanda akhe akakho kwizinga loba makakhulelwe? So that sithi noba siyathandaza sithandazela i-diagnosis esiyaziyo ukuthi if God wayenza kuSarah, we believe that you can rearrange, but the people, they must know the truth. They must know the truth, so that bathi bengena emtshatweni bangene besazi uba bangene entweni na. It must not only be HIV only that is being tested. We must test nembewu, both sides. Both sides. Sazi ukuthi imbewu yakho tata you know, my apostle actually per minute umuntu ongutata before age 25 will produce 1,500 per minute. Ngomjikelo nje omnye uyayikhupha into pha ku-20 to 300 million. You can imagine ndoba you are blessed kangakanani ndoba kufe 20 million ukuze kubekho wena okanye kufe 300 million ukuze kubekho wena. Kufe millions and millions. I think kwi lifetime yomntu ngathi uproducer plus minus 8 billion yembewu. Yiyo le nto kubakho abantu abangena self control okanye abangakhange babe blessed bafumana uThixo ufumaniseke kuna 20 into 30 into yabantu because they produce billions of imbewu. And God must help us ukuthi siz understand izinto. And secondly, going to into HIV, it is very important when we test people ungazi wedwa nize nobabini so that we explain these things, because there are people that are carriers. Those people, they transmit HIV to other people, but they don't get, the machine does not detect them. Bahlala beku-window period for life. How do we know them? We see them ngokwe-partners zabo. If ba-promiscuous, i-partners zabo zoloko zisifa with HIV. And because they are negative, once unkosikazi okanye umyeni waphozela ukuthi uThixo ungincedile, God has helped me. Lo nkosikazi okanye lo myeni caca uba okoko berhaqazi kanti he is a carrier. That's why before batshate kumele basibakhansilishe sibaxelele intoba it might be possible that omnye wena akakho negative, he or she is a carrier. Then the question is, nizowuhlala njani emtshatweni ke ngokomnye xa kuthe kanti uyi-carrier then wa-infect him? Because xa uyi-carrier you have got a capacity or potential to infect lo be negative. Are you going to leave her or him because usithi uchithile kanti nguwe? That's why it is very important when people betshata bangatshati because of the tangible things or material things. Emotive, it must be love. So that it noba induku sizama ko-mens, sizama nge-testosterone, sizama nge-injection ingasebenzi, uthi I love him or her irrespective of what. Athi noba umama sene-problem mhlambe develope ezanto ingazi cauliflower sekubhlungu xa isenziwo, uthi I'm going to stay without ukudibana nomnye umama because I love you. I don't love you because of imizwa yami okanye ukwanelisa mna. I love you because of the person you are. People, they must understand that. Because ufumaniseke xa befika kwi-consulting ubomba hey lo muntu ukhalazela into yoba uthi lo but ndiyaqaqanjelwa but ukhalazela into yoba ndizayifumana phi xa ingayifumana. I mean, if the motive was love, you are not going to force someone to feel the pain. If it was love, not sex motivated. Now, those things are very important. Abantu, and there is this thing kodata yobaba cinga doba if my wife would test and negative automatically. There is no such. Xa be pregnant omama uthi hayi unkosikazi wami utestile icacile nami. There is no such. You know better than your wife. You know yourself better than your wife. Uyazazi ba ubukhe wanyathela icable P. You know, and that you know. I'm always against abantu abacinga into yoba bazochwecha bazotesta bodwa betshadile. I always say bring your spouse so that ndizobuza question ethi what if ube positive when ube negative, are you going to accept it? Are you going to accept it? Or are you going to say ukuchithile now icacile uThixo ibinguThixo lebekuthumile into yoba mawuzotesta apha kum? That's why we talk about carriers. Good, xa uyi-carrier une-potential yokumosulela lo. Sibe singaboni into kuwe. It's a bit we cannot test into yoba makhe siyochecksha kwabanye aba-negative uba awuzuba infecta na, but xa ungaziphethanga kakuhle siye sibone. Umzekelo, there are patients zami endizaziyo into yoba hey unengcwelerha, and some of them they've divorced their spouse because they're negative born, the wives that we have started them on treatment okanye the husband. But xa ujonga xa iphinde siza nomnye 3 to 6 months down the line nayo aphinde abe post comma hey, and it's very difficult to bawutsala ispouse but hey ingozi lo hamba nayo, because angakuripota kwi-healthcare professional council athi awunantsiki awuyibambanga i-patient doctor confidentiality. Ngexesha bayaphela abantu. I've got lot of cases ezinjalo. Okwesibini, I believe, my apostle, it's going to be a challenge in the stigma with the HIV. It's going to take time. Why am I saying this? If the world, you know, when they talk world health organization about HIV, they talk as if yonke into ifree kwabantu bangekho HIV. But xa ujonga the clients that comes to you, umzekelo, if people they are going to certain countries for umsebenzi, one of the things abazitestayo is HIV. And if they are positive, they don't take them. Even here in South Africa, South African National Defence Force, if you are HIV akakuthathi. Here, they don't take you. But they xa bethetha ngayo uDeputy President uthetha ngathi we are fighting against the stigma, yet the system ayinantsika ayiniki la liberty. I think it's going to be a challenge, and it will need indoba those that are in authorities bazama ukuyichange indoba, even if, because they people know umzekelo kwixesha apply for inantsika and for kwenza community service kwa defense, we knew people abangathathwanga ba bathathelwanga ntoni. That's a stigma to those people. That's a stigma to those people. That's a challenge that we are facing. We are not even facing in the Europe or US, even here in South Africa. I remember there is a lady, Elisilwayo stigma laseBhayi. I think he once fought, I'm not going to name her, but he once fought for someone who was rejected by USANDF. What? It's her right. If we are saying abantu aba positive, abeke treatment, baba healthy and baba normal, why are we discriminating this one? Why is this woman's doba foolish doba he is not normal? And those are the challenges, because if the system is not accepting them, we might say that we accept them. If the system is not accepting them, that's a challenge. That's why one of the things that I do when I counsel my patient is that nobody will assist you in lifting the tablet to your mouth, the tablets to your mouth. Then you don't have to disclose to people, because I've discovered once they disclose, They are being discriminated. They are being isolated. Now they get more trauma from discrimination from the colleagues, from the family, and from the community. And the other painful part, if they know you good, oh, Mr. So-and-so, he died with this thing, they don't care whether you are using protection or not. They will associate, hey, awuyabagqiba. Sebegqibile into yoba njembe uMr. So-and-so kanye uMrs. So-and-so ebulewe into ene-HIV phakathi, sebegqibile into yoba hayi nguwe ogqibene. Ayikho i-mindset landithi we perish because of lack of knowledge. Ayikho i-mindset ethi what if gobe bedibane besenayo, what if they were using protection? And I'm so sorry to say this, kukho the member of the parliament, but it problem iqale xa kungena omnye utata, where we stopped preaching about or abstain or be faithful or condomize, otherwise we die. Where we were preaching about treatment. You can go everywhere. We talk about treatment. That's why statistics said, I think you get to 8.2 million. From 6 million. That's 8.2 million if I'm not mistaken. Because we talk about treatment. We are no longer talking about if you are not abstaining, you will get HIV. And people are worried about pregnancy. They're not worried about STIs and HIV. Believe me. Even when they come to my practice, they ask him morning after pills. They don't care about it. Uthi usithi ngicela ukutesta so that ndizokunika i-treatment that will protect you in case lo muntu u-HIV athi hayi ndinefear ke kuleni into. In other words, akana worry yoba he can be infected. Because we preach treatment, we tell them that we have found the treatment. We are not saying that let us prevent this thing, because we grew up with prevention is better than cure. But we are saying treating is better than prevention. We were confused. Can go everywhere. We launched the new drugs. There is nothing wrong, but those drugs are expensive. You count how much government is spending for 8 million people. Before zihle zibe ku 500 per month per patient, they were once around 1,000 rand. Then you count 1,000 times 8 million, which means per month, government is spending 8 billion. Now, are you expecting to be employable? Are you expecting the government to create employment? Despite the tests that we do every 6 months as cost plus minus 3.5 per patient, despite the opportunistic infection like what TB, cryptococcal meningitis, into zakuthatha zikuse ICU, because one time I was telling people, you are saying the government is doing nothing. You go to African countries, you pay for ICU. ICU per day, it costs 15,000 to 25,000. It theater per day. It theater, Caesar, just a normal Caesar, it's not less than 38,000. Normal Caesar. If when we hip replacement is 150,000, whether you are doing it with private or with public, you spend a lot of money. Because the equipment is the same. And laziness is telling us government is doing nothing. Doing nothing. Awujonga kanayo nenantsika ne-veg kwesa sitiya sakhe siphawu umcenceshela ingca. Our parents, the reason why they were living long is because they were believing with basics, the organic food, drinking fresh milk from the animal, fresh products. You can taste the spinach esityaliweyo nesakwaSpar. There is a huge difference. Iitapile ezityalene zakwaSpar, there is huge difference. Umbona owuthenge kwaNando's no lime garden, there is a huge difference. Because that one, une-chemicals onazo for uba mawuhlale ungaboli. And those chemicals, yizo ezisenza sithi una 30 something, uboma developer zonke symptoms zomuntu ona 60 something. Uthi ufika ku 60 something, hey hayi. So disastrous. So expiration. But I believe the church can play a big role. Njengoba nisisho into yoba xa bezotestwa before bazomiswa kumele bakuhlalwe nabo phansi uba what if omnye wenu positive? Are you going to marry him or her? If not, that means into eninantsikayo eniqhubayo is not love. Because we as the church, once omnye kwathu positive ukuqomba yo umntanam ngekhe aye to the grave eyibona. Yet the medicine is advanced. She can be pregnant angabikho infected. The new research is saying if the viral load is suppressed, that is, if it's beyond, or if it's not detectable by the machine, that person cannot transmit the infection. But we do have a big problem with all that. They are not compliant to treatment. They are not compliant to treatment. And they are putting themselves on high risk of treatment failure. They are putting themselves on high risk of resistance. They are not compliant. Yes, it's demonic. Because if we're not going to deal with the problem, that's a problem. And when they are not compliant, and you'll find out which they don't even want to condomize in the family. As if they say I want to kill this spouse. Because kaloku xa ungekho responsible, thina siyithatha as if you are a murderer. Noba wena uzawuthi uyomurder. And we want people, even if they believe God, to heal them. They must not be restless. I mean, reckless. Even if you believe that God is going to, because thina kwa into unga-develop his opportunistic infection, we thank God for that. And the ARVs that were designed, that you can live long. Can live long. Ungafika to the age you're about to be in dementia. Figure to 8 years or to 120 years, you can live long with the treatment, but it needs people to be compliant once they are being diagnosed. And it also needs those who are abazazi baba negative, try and protect other people. Because, there is this thing with departments, which I'm against with it. The Lendwenzwa Zez medical aid, where they test people in front of other people. That's bad. In front of your colleagues zakho ba hey uyibambile. And xa ibuya yena engekho, because if uJames ufikile pa uyasitesta, in your face we can read uba kwenzeke ntoni pha. Noba wena uzothi hayi kuthiwe yonke into right, but we can read. I don't know what the motive behind that, but it has bruised. I've seen people that are bruised because of humiliation in front of their colleagues. And when they are doing the right thing, testing the cholesterol and all those things, and they test the HIV, omnye uphuma as phethe certificate, hayi mina ndimhle. Lo ubuye sithi ndimhle, but i-certificate asive kuqomba iqhumile. Now iphethe ke ngoku im-affect nansi ke ibulale ne-confidence yakhe. Now I know some people that are in big ranks abaziwayo into bazange baye eDarfur okanye nansi ke eBurundi ngexesha elithile because batestwa in front of i-colleagues zabo zabuya i-results ziba reject. That's a humiliation. If we talk about the rights, let us not humiliate our people in front of their colleagues. I know. I'm sure not that famous Queenstown, but we came out to Burundi. I don't know how did the information leak, because I believe people that were testing that person were not professional. It leaked to the whole SAPS. But when we were going to Burundi, he was among the people about reject. What is that? What is that? That's why we have to be very sensitive, because abanye abantu as depression azenziwa yi-sickness, but zenziwa into yoba kubulawa ububona in front of abanye abantu. Akekho umntu ofuna ilineni yakhe ixhonywe phambi kwabanye abantu. Each and every individual has got his or her dirty linen, but let us protect them. Let us protect them. Nawe brother, xa uza ku-apostles uzofuna usister, if umbone mhle, funeke uyithathe le ndithi, if kuthe kanti ukwi-treatment, are you going to reject her? Because ohamba uyonantsika uyobalisa pha, because you are not a healthcare professional. Awuzureportwa ku-South African Nursing Council okanye ku-Health Professional Council of South Africa uba wena uhumilitate this individual. Funeka utsho into yoba, okay ke my brother, njengoba umfuna utshata nosisi, what if uzayitshintsha le nto uyifunayo? Because kaloku uzofumanisa uba njengoba sowusiza ku-apostle soyidumisile into yoba ufuna ukutshata nalo sisi. Now xa ungasatshatanga naye uze ne-reasons, phinde uzoxela the same congregation into yoba kufumaniseka uba hayi uno-MTN. Now imlimaze ngava iqomba hayi mandimke nasenkonzweni, afilshe into yoba yena akaprotectwanga yi-leader of the church, yet i-apostle ayenzanga nto, nguwe brother who divided the church. And I spread ngendlela wrong, but the church didn't protect me. Ibe nguwe okuchithileyo. We must be conscious about these things. That's why in City, we are on the 4th industrial revolution. I believe soon and very soon, there will be a treatment, because we are no longer treating HIV as a death sentence. We are treating it as chronic. If you can put abantu abayi-10 ubabeka apha bakwi-treatment nabangekho kwi-treatment, nowadays you will not see the difference. In the olden days, sasibabona into yoba intamo iba nkulu bengaka amnciphe. The treatment that we have, it's modified. Ayimhlambalazi umuntu ebantwini. Now, if God designed something that is protecting people, why Tina as human being, why Tina as people that have got image kaThixo, why can't we protect them? Because I believe it's God, or also say the scientists that will come up with treatment and a side effect that will not expose you or that will not humiliate you. Because the challenges that we had early 2000 was that treatment. It was this side effect. First thing that they will tell you, treatment, but this side effect is high. zikubetha uncipha amazantsi i-side effects zayo zikwenza unantsika ube nesisu esikhulu uThixo designed a treatment ekwenza into yoba ungabikho humiliated. Then it is our mandate as human being to protect our brothers and sisters, to protect them and not to judge them irrespective of uba bayifumene njani. Because I believe nobody has invited sickness over his life. Nobody. And nobody liked okanye ovuyayo when he is sick or when he's suffering with diseases. The last thing that he needs kuba treat as if he's less human because he's having this sickness. Okanye treat as if akakho capable because he's suffering with this sickness. And it can start here in the body of Christ, where into HIV ingeyo issue. Because as long as it's an issue, it means that it matters. It must not be an issue. Whether you are positive or negative, it must not be an issue. We must not give you an extra love, because once we give you an extra love, it affects laa nto uba uyasizeleka. Uzibona njengomuntu osizelekayo. You must be treated equally. That's why what I preached to my patients, I said, in my experience, those who think that will get healed, xa disclosile, bafumana more attacks. If you are married, it must end between you. You don't even have to tell your children, because this treatment is designed for a long life. Just be compliant, treatment and be responsible. It's not going to help us. It's not going to bring the solution. Let us deal with the problem and treat the cause. Because it's going to frustrate you, and it's going to frustrate even negumbi laphezulu. Kuba hey, sendinje ngusore nsoka sispouse sam. UThixo uba uyibeke into yoba mayibe inantsika, mayibe i-tribulation okanye mayibe ivelo zokuthi go through yona, uyayazi uba why. Because ezinye uThixo uzenzela into yoba masidevelop i-character, masibe humble, usenza into yoba masibazi abantu. And ukwenza sometimes xa ubuziphethe kakuhle akufundisa into yoba not everybody oba infected is a promiscuous individual. Uyakwazi ukuthi uzihlelele nje ize ngetray, ukufundisa loo nto, not to be judgmental. I believe, my pastor, the false beliefs, I believe kule fourth industrial revolution abantu sebez understanda kakhulu into ezininzi ngoku. It's no akusafani nakuqala where they thought ukuthi umhaga uzomosulela, xa umncamisa uzomosulela. Abantu, they are more advanced ngoku than before, but we are not encouraging them ukuba into njenge-toothbrush. We still discourage into yoba bazisherishe, because we don't know uba omnye akanoba nochwane na okanye angabi na. But I've seen couples that they've been staying together, enye ibe positive, enye ibe negative, supporting each other. And I always salute them, saying that I see real love, good guys. I so wish the world can see ngale ndlela nenza ngayo nantsiki izinto. I think zobe ndisima apho, my apostle. Maybe medicine is too broad. Confused. I don't want to feed you with information needs. Ndifuna sibe kwi-page enanzikile A1, and kwa medicine they say once wathetha for more than 30 minutes umuntu akasanansi after 30 minutes akasayiva yonke lento inantsika uyithethayo.
I'm lost without you. Cela siphinde siqhwabele uDaphaza. Amen. Amen. Sizawubiza ispeaker esilandelayo. Sizawuba nexesha apho khona sizawuthi xa sibuza imibuzo siyibuze kubo bonke. Ndiyathemba ninothile izinto enizawuzibuza. Ngoku sizawucela uApostle Mpontsha eze ngaphambili azothetha nge-empowered man. Amen. Yiza dadam.
Hallelujah. Ayibo hallelujah. Manthathe ixesha ndibulise to the apostle of the house, my friend Datu Schams, Datu Beki, a dear friend, unyansileka apha emuntu ufikele kuthi into ebeyithetha we come a long way with Datu Beki noKristu wethu. You know, unyansileka from 1999 when he came to East London. Sasivutha nangoku akho nto etshintshileyo. Sisamthanda uYesu. Not only that, but mandibulise uMama uFanda nakuDoc, our guest, and all the empowered men be greeted in the wonderful name of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Oh yes.
I feel empowered. I wish I could sit down, not ingathethi into. There are a few sessions like this, Doc, esizidinga as men. You wish you could sit down, nje uthetha phaya Thixo wam. But we are also grateful that in the house of God we've got Doc abasindisiweyo. Who was saved. We had interaction nge-break nanaye sinqoleni wezithile zakaKristu that within the profession yokuyo i-value system yakho ingakubamba. Sesithetha loo nto ngasithetha imabandla sipreach i-value system, and when we spoke outside I could see uba zimbambile into imbambileyo le yezulu. Andithethi le yenkonzo esuka kuyo, le yezulu. Without wasting any time, I'm told to speak about empowerment. I feel that we need to be empowered more, including myself, because you don't reach a point that you're empowered, you always learn. When Utabo early in the morning was speaking, I felt there's something I'm missing. I felt there's something I'm missing. Because we all need to be empowered as men. Empowered means an organization that started years ago of seeing the need for men to come together. Women, it's easy for them to come together, to talk, to share their pains. But for us as men, it's so easy to share your pain. Kuthiwa indoda ayikhali. Ube wounded. Into ezininzi. Indoda ayithini? Ayikhali. Either you are hurting inside, you are wearing mask as men. It's easy for a man to wear mask. It's easy as a pastor to come here, wear suits, but ngapha kwe suits, I'm a crying man. I'm wounded. I need someone just to hug me. I need someone just to talk to me sense. Athi uyabhanqa ukusimpiwe behind because I'm a wounded man. So sessions like this, they really help us. to be outside the mask. Actually, I chose to badge and be like any man. Because it's easy within the badges, the minyanges. We protect ourselves, but behind that, I'm a child. I want help. I'm crying. Can you see another man crying? Can you notice? It's easy to be with those harms, but I'm crying, I'm wounded. But session like this, we felt that we as empowered men, we should come together as men. Years ago, I think 8 years, 9 years ago, the push good news I called. But let's come as men, we come together for the purpose of empowerment. We sit down, we talk about issues related to men. And then since then was the birth of empowerment. Because I felt that issue of health, that we don't deal about these issues practically. And tell about men in church out, because our problem are the same. Whether black men, green men, yellow men, our problem are the same. Whether you are apostle, you are a doctor, we've got same problems. You'll be surprised that a professional person is sick on a profession, but yet he behaves in a profession. But I felt that let's come in together, where a doctor and the patient can sit together in the same platform, and we talk a plan about issues of men. That's where it started, and it grew. And that time, even now, it is beyond the church. That's why I call it empowered men. We from different churches. So those comes in Queenstown will know, but they hosted a gala for us in Queenstown, I think 5 years, 6 years ago, I'm not sure. Because we have to make sure that Iyajikela is around to do it. Before that, Mohammed as a host. Because we want to draw men, not from church, but even outside the church. We want men. We want to deal with men in different angles of life for the purpose of empowerment. And we talk. You know, years ago, Mamu, I was in prison. I used to run Ukalawelink FM, I think it was 1999. Yeah, I was we were presenters those days. There was a stage when I received in Treyam the box. There were, about 80 letters. Mainly Zasuka, the West Bank prison. The inmates that were listening to your program. And eventually, I took a conscious decision. I went to Loreto, but no Kaya Mapinda, no John Amua. I couldn't copy. But when we were there were cries of Amado. And it's Carlos Zabo, all of them, they come from family. They have never had a chance to be listened, to talk. Let's have a conversation. And I feel that we need to be mentored, to be fathered as men. I grew up without a father, but well uncles or booty that can sit down with us and relate with us in a normal environment. That's why I'm advocating we need to be empowered. Nobody empowers you as a man how to become a good husband, how to become a father. We are focused. A lot of this, I want just to talk. We are focused. People in mistakes, blunders. But I think we need to talk as men. And I remember it was only 2003 when I had a spiritual father that even I was saying now, where I could hear the real man about issues of life. How is your wife? How is your finances? I never heard those kind of things. How do you treat your those kind of things. So I feel that we need to be empowered as men. I think we need to be empowered. Another thing that years ago I grew up nabanye otata bethu ibingabo abayophangela bangamajoyi. They provider basically. Omama bahlale ezindlini taking care of their children. But the truth in the 21st century, the roles have changed. Otata confused bake ngoku. Ukuba lo mama uyaphangela ndiphangela. What is my role as a man? If I bring a bacon, lo mama is a pig. What is my role as a man? Because things have changed. Roles have switched. What do we do? I think that's the problem we need to talk about at this stage. I am still a man if I don't provide. I'm still relevant. What if livele under waphela umsebenzi ndingaphangeli kodwa as a man? We talk about issue of empowerment. Even now, 21st century, whereby girls are empowered. They're being preferred to be given better jobs. So we can apply as men, like one women. I mean, we grew up as a man. It's source of fulfillment of any door. But what do I do if a man I say what do I do when I've got a degree, a qualification, but yet prefer shop mom? Low depend didn't provide, didn't badge the language deliberately. But this is a crisis that we've got to deal with. We've got to answer that question. What do I do in that case? Because every man prepare a God to work. If a man is not working, he is not good. And then what about lazy? That indoor that because in nature of a man is to work. It's something that to the first Adam to work. What if a man does not working? What does it do? What does it do basically? We are together roaming around, cry, be part of the name of the game. How do we redeem that kind of a thing? In a state now where the government prefers women. What happens if that the girls are being empowered, but the boys are empowered? What do we do? There's a crisis here that we need to solve. I'm not bringing solution here. I'm bringing a crisis that we need to solve. We need to solve as a nation. The girls being empowered, how to become a girl, how to become all those kind of. What do we do to our boys? That we want to become better fathers, but yet there is no empowerment. I think there's a crisis. If we say a man is a head, a man has to provide. What systems the government is doing to make sure just to make sure what Lendwana is becoming empowered to become a better man, to be a better provider. If preference, there will be a girl, isidima sakhe sithini? Sithini? Because qala we knew that indoda is source of income, is wills or provider. But when the government or the systems that we are producing say to women be empowered, what empowerment are we doing here? I'm creating a story for a crisis that we need to solve as men. His dignity yakhe. If he's not prepared, xa bebonke endlini uziswa ukutya etafileni uzantoni thina isidima sakhe. Now, let me close. I won't take much of the time. Years ago, as I've mentioned, we felt ubheki namanye amadoda angekhoyo apha part of the leadership of empowered men. We've been qhubeka with events, fathers and sons, in the whole space. We've got those programs we have as empowered men. We've got conferences as banazo zamadoda. We've got talks as banazo. We are continuing to do those kind of talks. I'm going to close by saying, I read a scripture in the Bible, 1 Kings 2, verse 2. David is about to die. I think when I read the scripture, it changed my life. If we were short, precisely because we've been done on all of TED. 1 Kings 2, verse 2. David is about to die. We know the profile of David. He was a great man, great warrior, a psalmist. There's a lot of things that he had done in the past. But when he's about to die, he's calling his son, Solomon. With Solomon, my son, I'm about to die. We know, but when a man is about to die, there are things doctrine will do. One would say, before I die. He could have said, I'm going to give you the skills how to be a warrior. In fact, I've been a psalmist. But in this stage, he never said so to Solomon. But Solomon, my son, about to die. There's one thing I want you to do. Prove yourself. Ingathi uthi, I have done things in my life.